but you're still a clown shoe. Yeah, there's a song about you. Hooray, but you're still a clown shoe. Guten Tag. Going on? My hate. I'm proud of my hate. One of those weird things where, you've been told your whole life. Like, I can remember my grandmother real big into, don't say hate. Don't say hate. And it's like, by telling me not to say it. And I think it's more important than it is. It's just such a crazy manipulation. Start to finish, up and down, no matter what we're talking about. And it's strange how difficult it is to get people to see it. See it for what it is. Come on, police, get the fuck out of the way. Cops are just blocking the path. Just go ahead and block the road so nobody can get through there, police. Dearborn police. They literally see us sitting here, but they don't care. Oh, now you care. Oh, okay. Now we care. Oh, gotcha. I was trying to hide the camera if you couldn't see it. But... Oh. Douchebag. Oh, gotta love it. We'll run with this. Usually, by now, I should at least have one. Let's see if I have to get to 15 and reset, and then we'll title it Love and see what happens. You have to have a good relationship with your hate, man. How can you love anything if you don't have a good relationship with your hate? And you can't tell me not to hate things. How are you going to tell me not to hate pedos? How are you going to tell me not to hate genocide? How are you going to tell me not to hate the Jays, the friars who commit the genocide and all the pedophilia? Not all of it, but a lot of it. I'm just so, like, it's crazy to me because there are people that I enjoy out there, like I Am Blakely. I think she's really good. You don't hear me pushing some broad very often, do you? But I Am Blakely does a really good job in exposing, talking about certain things, but at the same time, it's like I wonder. I'd love to talk to her on just a personal level and be like, do you really see all this, or is this like, do you really believe that we can vote something different? Does anybody believe that the province haven't voted the right thing? We haven't voted the right person in office? What do you think? And she's really, really against Israel kind of person. But like I always say, Israel is just a construct. It's not a real thing. If somebody new takes over and they decide to call the place Billy Bob Land, then it's Billy Bob Land. Israel's not a thing. And yet so much focus goes to Israel, like Israel's the problem. Like Israel makes any sort of decisions or anything like that. Israel doesn't do shit. The issue is the inhabitants, the Jays, the friars that inhabit the area and commit the crimes. The friars that believe in the thing that justifies and perpetuates all these crimes. That's where the problem is. But until you're willing to see that, it's almost like we're just spinning tires. And I see this everywhere. There's a couple of things in the last couple of days that have really sort of stuck out to me. One is the talking points, that part that I've proven now. I think I've proven it. I don't think there's any questioning that. And I'm sure if you speak against the narrative in any sort of way, you've experienced it. But the whole tactic that they have is not to educate, not to help people understand what they're getting wrong. Like, look at this. How does anybody think all of that that's just the sky? That's not spray. There's not a bunch of spray right there. That plane that doesn't have any spray coming out, that's nothing. Sorry, just a distraction there. There are these pieces of this puzzle that, unless we're talking about those things, I think we're being distracted. I think there's a lot of people out there who, they have the best intentions and they're doing good work, but it just perpetuates things. If you're what the real problem is, then it goes outside, and you're spreading distraction. You're doing as you're supposed to do. And what's going on? My Emma, or Mammy, phenomenal Mammy. Mammy. I don't think people realize what that is. That whole Mammy thing, that Al Jolson, all that racist bullshit. That was such a part of my childhood, and I just didn't know it. Because Bugs Bunny, and instead of Hal Jolson, they do Owl Jolson. But you'd always see that Mammy thing. Rita, what the hell is going on, Rita? It's been a long time. How y'all doing? How did you just happen to come across my feed? That's weird. Rita is the one who can attest to the Ken O'Keefe narrative. Ken O'Keefe, after he stole $130,000 from the people, went to Colombia and lived it up for a little while. And Rita had something to do with it, or knew. I don't quite remember exactly all the details. I'm sorry. I try my best, but I just don't remember everything. But Rita has like a direct connection to this particular character we're given, and I think she can expose some things that other people can't, or at least attest to the exposure. I hope. I hate it because, like, I was a real big Ken O'Keefe fan. Like, I thought Ken O'Keefe was the guy. I fell for it. And there's always, you override the red flags when you want to see something. When you want to believe something, you override all the shit telling you not to. Doing good. I'm a sub to you. I'll stop by to see you guys when I visit Detroit soon. Okie dokie. But like I say, with Ken O'Keefe, I was just enamored. I was enamored by somebody telling truth, not realizing that I was supposed to be. And it was a good show. I mean, it's weird. You would think they would have taken the Ken O'Keefe thing further, but I think it was bigger than they wanted it to be. So, they had to pull the plug or something. I don't know. The Ken O'Keefe narrative is a weird one. And most people don't realize, like, it's all connected. The chances of that video of Naftali Bennett, at the time future prime minister, currently former prime minister of Israel, bragging about how Israel controls Wikipedia, and the example that he gives, the thing that he says, this is how you know, is look up the Gaza flotilla. Well, the Gaza flotilla is where Ken O'Keefe comes from. Like, it's all connected. He's telling you to look into Ken O'Keefe. He's telling you to discover Ken O'Keefe. And, there's a reason for it. Like I say, Ken O'Keefe is man, I fell hard. I really thought that this guy was that guy, and I overrode those nagging suspicions, like, if he's that guy, why is he allowed to exist? And if he's that guy, then, why aren't they censoring him? Shit like that. But that's, you're in this desperate position. You want to believe it. When you're desperate enough, you'll take food from the people that made you need to take food in the first place. Even though they're known to poison food and poison drinking water systems, and they like poisoning things. If you're desperate enough, if your kids need to eat enough, then you'll take. I mean, look how many people feed their kids McDonald's. They're desperate. They don't know how to cook. They don't have the time. Whatever. Single mothers and shit. McDonald's was a savior for single mothers. Used to be. Taco Bell, remember when Taco Bell was $59, $79, $99? When you're desperate, you're eating dog meat. You're eating the worst of the worst, the grade E quality bullshit. But you're desperate. You need to eat. And if you need to eat and there's no food handy, well, then you're going to eat that nastiness because you need to feed your kids, you need to eat, whatever. Desperation fosters, lots of belief that you wouldn't have if you had the opportunity. If there was more opportunities for you, like if you had yourself a chef, or you had a way to have a regular real hamburger every day and some fresh French fries instead of McDonald's, every person would pick the $18, $20 burger over the McDonald's burger. But you just don't have that ability. And I look at it the same way with truth. I mean, Ken O'Keefe, it is, like I say, it's surprising that they didn't run with it more. But, for me to sit here and claim I know the strategies, being put forth in the closed door, I don't have any idea. These are closed door meetings. It's all off limits to people like us. Yeah. We're at the 15-minute mark and we only have 15 viewers. It's like right on that border of should I or should I. Ken O'Keefe was saying all the right things. There was the Ken O'Keefe World Citizen Tour. And he was opening eyes, man. But, part of me thinks it's just sort of a brag. It's a flex on their end. They gave us, maybe they even put out the Ken O'Keefe character to judge where people were at, thinking, not thinking that we were all so opposed to Israel that he would actually gain popularity like he did. But I think one of the most common and biggest mistakes being made is us underestimating the enemy. Anybody underestimating what Israel is capable of, and again, not Israel, the friars are capable of. These friars are disgusting. And they're capable of way more than you give them credit for. And that's how they get away with it. You don't think that come on, they're not really doing that. Like you think of it from your own human perspective. And you often put yourself in that position, like what could possibly exist for you to do those things? And you know that you're just not that horrible piece of shit that could do those things. So you override it. You say, no, there's no humans out there capable of doing all this horrible shit. But you gotta stop underestimating the enemy here. Alright. Of course they're capable of creating anything. Especially when the only reality that you have regarding that. Look, this is probably the cheapest gas station around. $2.99. When Biden was president, it was like $2.79. Thought the gas prices and food prices were supposed to go down. Remember how the Trumpanzees acted like he didn't say he was going to do this and make it happen relatively quickly. He was gonna cut the gas and food prices. Remember that shit? And then after the fact, Trumpanzees were like, well, you just gotta give him time. I know he made it sound like he was going to do it right away, but you got to give him time. He just hasn't figured it out yet. And now it's been quite some time. I'm tired of winning. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of true. At least winning the argument get you anything, doesn't really lead to much. But I do think like I saw this video by Ian, who I'm still on the fence about. Sure is allowed to have a lot of fucking views, but Ian Carroll was saying, we are winning. If you look at the metrics across the board, whether it's our intake of the news and television and shit, all of that stuff is way, way down. We're watching way less TV and way less sponsored TV, sponsored corporate media. We're questioning things we shouldn't be questioning. Their industry is just falling apart. Their control mechanism is falling apart. The biggest issue is how do we override the religious slavery, the religious control? Because it's that foolish belief in Jesus that continues to allow the system to operate. the fact that so many people believe that they need a savior to come fix it for them. Not we need to unify and fix it ourselves. We're waiting for this magical savior to come fix it. Hey, how are those delusions coming? Yes, the delusions. We should kill pedophiles. How delusional am I? We should stop the genocide. Genocide? There's no genocide. Stupid. Look at the way, you said something, look at the way the media is reporting the genocide. And then look at the way the alternative media, we are reporting it. Right? Yep. You do need Jesus, says some dumb broad. We have a dumb broad here, ladies and gentlemen, who doesn't know her Bible. Right, you dumb broad? You either know it and you just choose to ignore it, or you belong to the thing without knowing what it says. Either way, you're stupid. Christians are trying to fix things on earth. Really? Are Christians trying to fix things? What are you talking about? Keep playing with God's will and we'll see how that turns out. Fuck God. Fuck God's will. Fuck you. You know, you dumb sheep. The arrogance. Again, now I'll ask, as I always do, what makes you think Christianity is real? What makes you, submit that Christianity is real, but Islam isn't, Scientology isn't, Mormonism, Catholicism? You're all really Catholics, you just don't like it. Islam, Judaism, why are all those wrong? Hateful human being, yes. I hate pedophilia, I hate cults, and I hate slavery and genocide. How about you? You dumb broad who doesn't even know her own shit. How are you going to come on here and talk about Jesus and you don't even know what the fuck it says? It's really kind of sad, right? Look at this shit. Look at how stupid these people. 200 Palestinian non-adults somehow deprived of life today in Gaza. Yeah, they're getting killed every day. I love how the dumb broad says dumb things. Now I'm a sad man. Yep. I'm sad because I know your shit better than you do. Is it that you know it and you just don't like where I'm going with this, or do you really not know what it says? Ignorance is no excuse. I'm just curious. Oh. Yes. David, good old David. David. Hi, my name is David. Yep, the guy that always thinks we should kill pedos must be a pedo. That must be it, right, David? David is mad. Like, think about this. Think about what's happening. Some dumbass has come on here and is crying because I guess he's a, I don't even know, but like these are the people that call the pedos and tell them to run and tell them to hide. These are the people that try to interfere with the hunters and shit. And then he wants to pretend like it's me. Why would I be the most vocal person you know? Because remember, all I talk about is this and blah, blah, blah. That's all you talk about. Why would I be talking about it so much if I was a supporter? I just love how this is the best they get. How many slaves have you met? The new slaves are illegal immigrants who still owe the Kyle. Oh, yeah, that's what the slaves are. It's not all of us goyim here. Look at this beta. You say beta. That's who you are as a person. You go by this alpha beta bullshit, right? That just says everything to me. You let other people define you. And of course, you're a big pedo supporter. We get you. We get it. Perfect. What's really funny is you're so triggered. Yes, I am triggered. Look at how triggered I am. So I'm either ignoring the comments, or if I'm responding to the comments, I'm triggered. It's one of the two.
That's what it should be.
So crazy. Betas don't call out pedos or Israel or these piece of shit friars. Betas are the kind of people that would go on to somebody else's feed and cry and cry and cry. Betas are the ones that when challenged, go ahead and make the video. Why don't you make the Guy Williams Sucks video and you expose anything you can about me, you talk all the bad shit you want about me, whatever it is, and then me, being the alpha that I am, I'll play it on my feed and we'll see how that works out. Come on, alphas. You shouldn't be scared to make a fucking simple video, right? You're such an alpha, you got no worries, right? Is there a rigid reason you hate religion so much? Maybe a personal reason? Ooh. Yeah, it doesn't have to be personal. I'm not like you. I'm not selfish like that. Well, if it doesn't happen to me, then I don't care. Yeah, anytime I find out that an organization is rooted, has its foundations in pedophilia and Judaism and friar shit, yeah, I hate it. I hate slavery. I hate pedophilia. I hate genocide. Is there any reason why you don't hate it? Like, what's the reason you don't hate it? Yep. The Alpha Sigma. I am your boss. I will always be your boss. Look at how he has to, like, boost himself up. Watch this. Watch this. How about now? How's it feel to be the boss now? Why do you hate teachers then? Yes, I hate teachers. What kind of stupid shit is this? Like, it's amazing how proud to identify themselves they are, right? You're proud to be like, you clearly are pedos. I mean, you're clearly pedos and you're clearly Israeli pieces of shit. I don't know how else I'm supposed to see it, but, if I was a guy who was like, I hate, TV shows. I don't watch the TV's stupid. TV's this, TV's that. And you came on here and you were like, you're crazy. I don't like what you're saying. You're not, and you start talking shit. It would be safe to assume that you watch TV, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that how that goes? If you're the one that's actively, speaking against the thing, then it's safe to assume you do that thing, right? Like when you speak against the person speaking against the thing, you're standing up for your own shit, right? If I talk about the whole no good cops thing, all bad cops, if there was any good cops, there would be no bad cops. If you come in here talking about cops only do good stuff, cops are the best, cops this, cops that, it's safe to assume you're a bootlicker or you're a cop. One of the two. Do I hate the friars? I hate them more than anyone else. Clearwater, Chad. More than anyone else. They are the worst people cult in the world. And I'm absolutely proud to hate them. I don't understand why anybody wouldn't. Do you know what they do to their own children? Like, that's what's so crazy, is I'm sitting here standing up for, like, I hate this cult, but I don't think they should be allowed to abuse their own children. The children who have yet to adopt the hate and be the the monsters that the adults are. They're just innocent children, and at that point, somebody needs to protect them. Religion is a corporation. Some people see it, others don't. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's a lot of things. Religion is the corporation of religion has been amplified, but religion is a control scheme first and foremost. It has a specific purpose, and that is to control and distract. And the main thing, I think the main reason why you're a Christian is not so you think the Savior is going to come. I mean, these are all small parts of it. The main reason why they have everybody being a Christian is so when you look into it, it tells you that you're a slave, you're a Gentile slave, and you're not one of God's chosen people. That the completely different religion, the completely different cult, is your Christian, God's chosen people. That's the purpose of Christianity, is to program you to accept that line of thinking. And nowadays you see it more than ever. The reality of the Bible, the purpose of the Bible is true now more than it ever has been. And that if you look into the Bible and you look at what it's all about, I mean, the Bible is a Jewish fairy tale. All of the characters in the Bible are Jewish. Jesus was a Jew. They speak of the Gentiles as a separate group, as those Gentiles, the Gentiles, not us Gentiles. Those it's not about, it's separate. It's clearly separate. The Gentiles are clearly separate. And when you look at how it all works out, aren't you taking the car today?
Yeah.
Huh?
I want to be run at 10 and I'm going to Lucas's at 10:30. Look at the car.
When you look at the way it's all presented to you and the way that things are working right now, like it's so funny to me. It's funny, scary, whatever word you want to put, that all these Trumpanzees, all these America First people are ignoring what's fucking happening. It's shocking. They're making it illegal to anything Israel, to talk bad. Like, that's not what you do. The only time you make something illegal to talk about is when the narrative we're given is false and you don't want people to expose it. Like the Holocaust. In many countries around the world, you're not even allowed to question it. Because it's pretty easy to come to conclusions that it's not, it's a lie. It's a fucking lie. It's impossible. It's just impossible. And it's so cool to see that other people are starting to say things. I've been hounding Damian Michaels for a while that whether he realizes it or not, he's doing their work for them. As long as he's not focusing on the head of the monster and talking about the distractions and talking about the tentacles, then he's doing what they want him to do. And just recently I saw he posted a video of somebody else's video, but talking about the Holocaust and the narrative that we're given and how it just doesn't fit. The World Census Report does not account for 6 million casualties. It doesn't even up. The number of friars compared to the number of friars after the war is the same. It actually goes up a little bit. There's no 6 million killed, blah, blah, blah. That's just not true. And the reality is, it's just like the other parts, right? It's like saying they have all the money and the power and the control, that's somehow a slur. You know, saying that 6 million didn't die is the better alternative. Why would you why would you want that 6 million of your people died as opposed to it was just a big lie? I mean, it was just a big lie is really awful and, manipulative and lots of horrible connotations associated with it. But at the end of the day, it's better than 6 million people dying. Same thing with Handy Sook. Wouldn't it be better if all those kids didn't actually die and it was just a psyop? It was just just a manipulation. I mean, I know it sucks. And how dare they? All these things that come with it. Yeah, for sure. But everything is better than children actually being killed, right? That's the narrative that we need to we need to start looking at things differently, and it's happening. You really do see it happening everywhere. Oh, personally themed submarines. Look at these dumb ass comments, man. It's crazy. It's crazy because again, it's all people who are distracting, trying everything they can to not talk about what I'm talking about. They come to not talk about what I'm talking about. They'll spend hours here, but then it's like let's hang out at the place where they call us pedos and we'll just sit here and prove that we're pedos and stupid, but let's not address anything being said. You guys have to understand, man. It is what it is. Like it is that. To think that, like, what stops you from thinking in a certain way? Again, I think that's really what we need to be focusing on is what is controlling the way that you think? Why do you choose to believe certain things over other things? Why do you why do you lean one way over another? Why I ask this question every day, and you would think, just like you would think it would be easy for somebody to just make a quick video, Guy Williams sucks video. You'd think I'm not asking too much of you. Same thing with this question. You would think, like me asking, what makes you be a Christian? What makes you say Christianity is the right one? Islam is stupid. Or the other way around. Islam is stupid or Islam is the right one and Christianity is stupid. What fosters that belief? What makes you think those things? Whether a guy is right or wrong, the point is, think outside the box the system has put you in. Sorta. I mean, no, I don't know. I think whether I'm right or wrong, I think focus on what I'm wrong about. This is what I'm always asking you guys. Focus on what I'm wrong about. That's where I was. Focus on what I'm wrong about, and let's get to the bottom of those things. And anything that I'm getting wrong, let's pull it apart and let's make it work. Let's figure something out. Gross. Let me have a martini. Yeah, it's basically straight alcohol. No, it's delicious.
Martini at Deadwood, it's so good.
Because they hid the flavor as much as they could behind sweets.
Well, it's chocolate liqueur.
These are opinions, not facts. Yeah, which part's opinions? And what are you talking about there, crybaby? What part are you talking about, lady? This guy loves my nuts, so I'm trying to figure out what he's talking about. Which parts are opinions and which parts are facts? These are just opinions. It's just my opinion that there weren't even 6 million friars in Europe at the time. It's just an opinion. It's just my opinion that the World Census report, doesn't report the 6 million casualties. That's an opinion, right? Right? Look at how desperate this shit is. Anything you can come up with to try to make yourself feel better because, you're stupid, you're a pedo, you believe the pedo, so whatever it may be. Anything but trying to debunk what's being said. Interesting how that always seems to work out, isn't it? And your opinion is wrong. Yep. Really? Which part? Come on, crybabies, let's see what you can do here. What proof do you have the Holocaust didn't happen? The World Census report, the Red Cross reports, basically common sense. There's lots of little pieces to it that prove it. But as far as like real hardcore proof, doesn't get much stronger than the World Census report. The fact that they're just not accounted for says a lot. But let's not worry about that, right? There's a lot of little pieces to it. And the thing is, too, you say these things, it doesn't matter what proof I provide you. You're not here to look into proof or to understand or anything like that. Your sole purpose is to cause problems. I can provide you all the proof in the world, you just won't. You won't even engage. You don't even know. How many are deceived by the legion of interpretive Christ and the harlot and the synagogue of Satan? Yeah, all that shit's so stupid. And anyone that disagrees with you is a pedo. Yeah. Yeah, I think anybody that comes to my feed day after day to talk shit and cry while not actually trying to figure things out or engage is probably a pedo. I'm forced into thinking that way. You guys force me into thinking that way. If I ask you, why are you here? Why would you spend so much time on my feed if you hate me so much and I'm so wrong and all this other shit? What is your motivation for being here? Well, you're not going to answer that question, are you? Look at this. There's just nothing. There's just nothing. It's just stupid. Right? You know, again, as far as proof goes, like, it depends on what you require. If you require me to provide you with a signed document by Donald Trump himself, notarized and everything, saying that everything I'm saying is true, that's never going to happen. But like when it comes to Wikipedia, right? Well, if I can show you that the former prime minister of Israel, at the time he was the future prime minister of Israel, the prime minister of Israel bragging about in 2010 that they control Wikipedia, bragging that they are there teaching the people how to do their job, that they're already the #1 source of information in the world, but they still need to be taught how to do their job by Israel. I can show you proof of all of it, but you just won't see it. So here we go. Here's Naftali Bennett. talking to IsraelNationalNews.com.
in conjunction with My Israel, has arranged Instruction Day for Wiki editors. The goal of the day is to teach people how to edit in Wikipedia, which is the #1 source of information today in the world. As a way of example, if someone searches the Gaza flotilla, we want to be there. We want to be the guys who influence what is written there, how it's written, and to ensure that it's balanced and Zionist in nature.
I came here to learn.
So, right there. Like, that's proof. That's the proof that you just don't want to acknowledge. The proof that the information you're given is controlled. Like, I don't know what else you would require as far as that goes. You know, this is making the statement and then backing it up. And if I ask you for proof to the contrary, well, you don't have shit. You know? Stop believing all you hear and see online. Right. I shouldn't believe Bennett talking to the IsraeliNationalNews.com. Right. Shouldn't believe them when they say that they're there to you know, make sure Wikipedia is balanced and Zionist. Yeah, don't believe that. I shouldn't believe what I read and see online. I should believe some dumb troll on my page who can't even tell you why he's here to begin with. Right? Now see, this dumbass is, what is it? He's going to keep repeating himself. I already showed you reasons why the Holocaust isn't real. And there are entire documentaries about it that you should really look into. If you can find 6 million lies, you should absolutely find it and watch it. It's really hard to find, but if you can find it, you should. But when you understand that, like, the source, the thing that controls the information you get is specifically doing it so that it's Zionist in nature. Like, there's a lot of little pieces to the puzzle that you have to be able to put together. And like I say, no matter what I provide you, it's not like you're going to even address it. Just like you're not going to talk about why you're here in the first place. I'm here to discuss other points of view about the world. Sure you are. Sure you are. That's what you're here for. Reported your channel. Hope you are banned. Says somebody who can't actually have a conversation. Right? I guarantee this is a friar. Why else would Lighthouse Reveals be here? This is some dumb friar who wants us to be, you know, good little goyim, well controlled. I mean, again, make it make sense. Why would people come in here and cry and report and all that stuff instead of engaging? Talking about what's actually wrong. What parts am I getting wrong? You know, there is no engagement here. It's all just, you know, crybaby stupidity. Don't say those things. You're not supposed to say those things. But you have Naftali Bennett, who is way more credible than any random profile on here. You know, why would I think that some random fake profile with no subscribers who's been here since right around this time, that they know more than Naftali Bennett? Naftali fucking Bennett. You know, I know you guys are arrogant and shit, but you can't think you're a better source of information than that guy. But that's not what they do, right? This is how, look at these crybaby comments. Augo, what's going on, man? You know, Algo's been here longer than all of you. And, you know, still can't point to something I'm wrong about. Haven't been wrong yet. I mean, yeah, I think I've gotten like numbers wrong here and there. Don't get it twisted. But look at how desperate it is. So, like I say, there's always going to be little bits and pieces, and it's interesting too how up until yesterday, I mean, I've been watching this clip of Naftali Bennett for a long time, but I'd never watched the other part of it. But when you listen to this broad,
we as Israelis and as Jews can defend Israel online, on the internet, and particularly in Wikipedia in this case. Wikipedia is a bit of a complex system, and it's sometimes hard to figure out the rules. I personally tried to edit things in Wikipedia that were against Israel, small things, and my changes were erased or undone, and I didn't understand why. And
do you understand like the arrogance this broad? Miriam Schwab. She's an Israeli web developer. That's all you get. But she's saying, I don't understand why I made changes to things on Wikipedia and those changes were removed. Like, don't they know who I am? And listen to how she justifies this shit.
I think that this kind of knowledge is important for anyone who wants to be active in defending Israel on the internet, so that we can go and we can see the information and we can say this isn't quite right. It's showing one side of the story, and I have
literally the same talking points it always is. Oh, that's just one side of the story. You're not getting both sides of the story, because like if you get your information from, say, the news isn't completely controlled by friars, right? The news is giving you the opposite perspective than the friar perspective. Look at this shit. All this bullshit is a plan. They've planned this nastiness. Of course. And that's what's, you know, and I'm about to expose why these profiles are here. I can explain why these profiles are here way more than they can. You know, I'm here to discuss the points of view of the world. No, you're not. You don't discuss anything. You don't engage in anything. You just cry and cry and cry. Oh, here we go. Somebody is using schizo. Here, and we're going to explain that in just a minute here.
The power and the right to change that. And in general, it's so important for us to be online, working to defend ourselves and to prove to the world and to ourselves that we are just and we are right. And because right now, if you look online, if you do searches for certain terms related to Israel, it's just filled with anti-Semitism, anti-Zionism, and garbage. And there's not enough.
Anti-Semitism, which is, you know, anti-supremacy. Anti-Zionism, which is anti-supremacy, and garbage. That's her stuff. Anything that doesn't go the way, and it's true, like this is the thing. You have to embrace the term anti-Semitism. It's really important that you understand that you're not supposed to cower. That word is supposed to make you upset. It's supposed to make you like somebody's calling you a racist. You're supposed to be like, oh, no, I'm not a racist. What the hell are you? You're supposed to get upset by it. But the truth is, what you're doing is anti-Semitism. Anything that goes against their supremacy, anything that is what they don't like, is anti-Semitism. It's nothing bad. Everybody should oppose Semitism. There's a reason why they changed the spelling of anti-Semitism to hide what Semitism is. They don't want you to realize that Semitism is a thing.
Us out there working to counteract that and hear that the other side of the story, our side of the story,
like, can you imagine?
The story is getting.
This is how stupid they are, right? These people, they're so stupid that instead of actually arguing about anything being said, they keep talking about a wrestler. Like, that just says everything you need. Of all things to use, wrestling, where it's a completely scripted outcome. It's fake. You know, they keep focusing on a wrestler like that fucking matters. Because they can't argue the whole World Census report. They can't argue the Red Cross reports. They can't argue that there's, you know, against the idea of a genocide happening right now. They can't argue that the friars aren't pedophiles. That their cult isn't pedophilic at its roots. They can't argue any of these things. So they do this kind of dumb shit. This is the best they can do. Anti-Semitism is a mean, nothing term Jews use to silence criticism and noticing. Exactly. But it's not. I mean, it's not even a mean, like, it's funny how it's been manipulated, right? How we've been manipulated in the process. But, you know, Semitism is policy or predisposition favorable to Jews. Policy, which is the rules and regulations. Predisposition, which is, you know, how you think. What your predisposition is often attributed to disease. You know, your father has heart disease, your grandfather has heart disease, your uncles have heart disease. You are predisposed to having heart disease. That's the shit that like, that's what they're trying to tell you. You know what? I'm going to reset because this shit's just stupid. 13 views just doesn't work for me. So reset, come right back. If you have to go somewhere, the links are in the description. Most importantly, pedophiles, kill yourself, but I'll be right back.